to another Save Money Cut Carbon Learn and Save Masterclass. And today we're talking to Mike, who leads in the consultative and consultancy team here. So Mike, tell us a little bit about your background. Consultancy in this space is a big broad term. So have you always been in the space? Tell me a little bit about you.
I'm an energy engineer by trade. However, I've been working in energy efficiency in the built environment sector and also agricultural and the horticultural sector for probably 25 years. In audits in buildings, looking at ways of saving energy through any sort of building service that we come across. That might be heating, cooling, ventilating, lighting, all the usual range of building services, but then the more off-the-wall things that you'll find in specific sectors. We need to find ways that our customers can reduce their energy consumption without losing their comfort or their service or whatever. They don't need to notice that they're saving energy.
Okay, so it's kind of, I guess, sustainability without compromise is what you're looking, that it's kind of going on behind the scenes and we hopefully don't know it's going on.
Nobody wants to be inconvenienced by energy savings, and so there may be opportunities to save energy where it's harmless or where you've got to avoid compromising someone's business. You don't want, in a hotel, you don't want guests to feel too cold or too hot, and so forth. You have to think, what can we do which people aren't going to notice has even been done.
Walk me through a little bit. Let's say we talked about a hotel there, or typical client that kind of contacts you and your team and goes, right, I'm interested in I guess energy reduction because of bills, but it could be net zero, could be ESG. What does the journey look like for one of your customers?
Well, the first thing we need to do is analyse their data to see where they're using energy, carry out a site audit and look at all their equipment and see if we can match that with what we've seen in their data, and that'll help us to lead us to appropriate solutions, implement them, and then watch them make those savings, make sure those savings do materialise.
Fantastic. And I guess there's now, with net zero targets from the government and things, more kind of legislation and standards that have to be met. So maybe you could talk to us a little bit about, I hear things like SECR and ESOS and EPCs and all these jargons, abbreviations. I guess your team helps clients a little bit find their way through that maze and make sure they don't get, I guess, caught out by not complying to something that maybe they didn't even know they had to comply to.
Well, companies above certain sizes, which are determined by the number of employees or your financial metrics, are included in the need to report annually on what energy consumption they get through and what carbon emissions result from that. Every 4 years, companies, again above the same certain size, not only have to compute and report on their carbon, but they have to conduct an audit to see where they might be able to reduce that. We have encountered in the past customers that didn't know that they had to comply, so there's sometimes a bit of urgency to the process depending on how close we are to the ESOS compliance deadline.
You add value maybe beyond a pure ESOS or SECR consultancy, because you can then see it as more than just red tape and ticking the boxes, but actually take people through the journey to actually reducing for next time they report.
ESOS results in a report which is delivered back to the directors, but they don't have to do anything about that report. They just have to receive it and nod wisely. What we want them to do, of course, is to implement those solutions, and we will lead them to those solutions and projects that they can have delivered by us, and then they will be able to report back next time when ESOS comes around again, yes, we did that and we saved this much because of it.
You must have a lot on your plate at the moment and quite a diverse amount of clients. Is there any particular kind of project you and your team are working on at the moment that you've said many years in the space that kind of excites you, or is a bit different, or is a bit challenging maybe?
Well, there's two sides to it. There's energy savings and there's also renewables, which is generating the energy that you need, or that you still need once you've made the savings from renewable sources. We are looking into motorway service areas at the moment where there is a constant stream of customers through the door who want to get comfortable, eat and leave again, and they're going to use a lot of energy as they do that. It may be through hot water, it may be through catering services, and these energy demands are going on all through the day and night, but there are ways that we can help. A service area may well have potential for solar PV, it may have potential for other services. Also, people want to charge their cars, which is another addition to the complex nature of what they want to do while they're on the site, and it's all adding to the energy demand, which is perhaps not what the site was originally conceived to deal with. So they're evolving.
So I guess you also save your clients quite a lot of time in not having to wade through, I can imagine, 50 different suppliers supplying different parts in that one client.
Well, if we can deliver them the energy savings projects, the water savings projects, the renewable energy generation projects, all under one banner, then that's great. I would have thought that would be an obvious attraction for them. They will only have to deal with one company. Save Money, Cut Carbon can do that for them.
Fantastic. That's really interesting. Thanks for giving us an insight into your team. Thanks a lot, Mike.